Welcome to the EightSeven Pod, a new listening experience brought to you by the guys at EightSeven.co.
So today, A.M.U.I was talking
I respect
about
that, bro. I respect that.
the future of media. Off the back of a lot of stuff that's been happening with YouTube and decisions they've made, and of course, the
power of Twitch.
Power of Twitch and its resurgence. So we're just going to jump right into that. Like, what do you think? Where do you think we're going?
Live streaming's always been on the cusp of like breaking out. Like I work in advertising, and like that's the holy grail for advertising, to be able to do a live streaming campaign. Yeah. And the reason why, like, Twitch's been around since like 2011, so Twitch has been on the cusp for a while. But what's happened recently is that they've got their other formats sorted out, and they had this guy Dr. Evil for a while. He was the one that was carrying it. But now you've got, like, what's it? I forgot his name, Ninja, with the stream with Drake that broke all the records. You've got Snoop Dogg has done a Twitch stream before, like with his gaming and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So Twitch. Like, I don't think Twitch will win the war with YouTube. It's not going to. Amazon have bought it out.
Amazon owns Twitch. Since when?
I think like a year or so ago.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, double check that, guys, because if I'm wrong, you can roast me in the comments. But yeah, that's why I don't worry about YouTube. I think YouTube's been very complacent in terms of how they've dealt with issues in the past, and the adpocalypse has happened, and all the issues that they've had for years. It's caused a problem now with a lot of YouTubers have Twitch accounts. Like Comedy Gamer's got a Twitch account. Rice Gum, like, he's got like 9-10 million subs. He's got a Twitch account. A lot of YouTubers are figuring out Twitch, you can make more money for doing a lot less.
Wow.
Which is why Facebook, when they get their act together with all the privacy stuff, will be eventually able to jump in on that, because Facebook is warmer to the creator as well. So that's why I feel that the future of media is definitely going to be online. That's just a fact. I think TV in London anyway, it's a dying art. Like, to sit around a TV and watch a TV as a group of people isn't the same anymore. I don't do it. I don't even have a TV at home. Like, it's Netflix, it's stuff, and you're slowly starting to see advertising shift to online as it's become more trusted. So I think definitely online. YouTube's in trouble. I don't know if they'll fix it, because when a company gets too big, you start to get complacent and stuff. Like, it's happened with all the big ones. So like Canon, was it Canon? What was the camera company? Kodak. They were so big, and then something new hit them, and they didn't know how to handle it, and they're no more.
And Nokia.
Yeah.
BlackBerry. Although BlackBerry's back apparently.
BlackBerry, yeah.
Nokia.
Didn't they get bought out by Google? Google create their stuff now.
Nokia was bought by Microsoft.
Yeah.
And then now they've shifted to having, I don't know if they've sold off parts of the company to other people, but either way, they're using Android now.
Yeah.
Take that as you will.
So these are all companies that were massive, but got complacent and didn't adapt, and didn't deal with the internal issues. YouTube is on that same path now. Because YouTube's been around since 2008? Google bought them, 2011? And now you're looking at like 2017, 2018. They've had a controversy every single year. They didn't even wait to start this year properly. They just jumped straight into it.
Yeah, but they're $1 billion company, so they'll always find ways how to get success. They'll be successful. They'll find ways.
But if you can't advertise, because the thing is, you could be $1 billion company.
Yeah.
But you raise your money through advertising. Now, the beauty of YouTube is it's linked to Google, which is the giant that I don't think it would take a technological advance to surpass Google. Yeah. Because they're the search engine.
So you search everything in Google, and you can search on Google. You can go on YouTube. So
I remember I've seen people search for Bing, the other search engine, through Google.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's like, obviously Bing's not doing their job, but That's why YouTube may always be alright, because Google's backing it.
Of course.
But as an entity, as the number one source for content, I think we're in a situation where if they're not careful and they don't start to resolve some of the issues,
Yeah.
they're going to be in trouble.
So my advice to you, my question to you is, what do you think can be done to save it then?
To fix the issues. I think what they've...
Are they fundamental issues or just...
Yeah. Here's the thing. You can... Just like what's happening in real life now with a lot of situations that were going on, like the killings and stuff.
Yeah.
You can solve an issue early if you deal with it early.
Get to the root of the problem.
Get to the root of the problem and you can deal with it early.
Yeah.
YouTube had the 2 PewDiePie incidents. He Who Shall Not Be Named's number of incidents. His younger brother's number of incidents. KSI had a few incidents. YouTubers are having major incidents on there. And like, advertisers were seeing Nazi videos promoting their content.
Wow.
Ads on like extreme videos. Because YouTube weren't checking the ads.
So basically the problem is, if that's the series of the problem, what do you think they need to do to cleanse it, to start?
Well, they've started to do that. So they had an algorithm
Yeah.
that was just disastrous. They all will tell you it's disastrous. It was like a universal fact.
Yeah.
And what they've done now is they've cut the algorithm for the top YouTubers. They've hired people.
Yeah.
They're basically taking a step backwards in technology to help resolve the issue.
Yeah.
So that should help us in the short term.
Yeah.
Long term, they need to do a better job of vetting the actual problems.
Okay.
But I do think the bigger ones get more chances.
Yeah.
Because they're allowed to, Who Shall Not Be Named has ads back on his videos.
Wow.
That didn't take too long.
I mean, he's still not on the
He's on the partner program, but he's
he's not on the A plus, but he's still getting enough to be.
So my question to you is, what do you think should be done? What should be done? Do you think, like, would it be harder for up and coming YouTubers to progress with this situation right now, or do you think it'll be easier for them once to sort it all out?
No, it's harder.
It's harder, yeah.
They've moved the goalposts back, so it's. But
I think quality trumps. So
No,
I think
yeah.
even though the goalposts have been moved, and it makes it the criteria is now greater than it was before to get to that promised land of becoming an official YouTube partner. I think what that just means is that the quality you put out has to be at a higher standard to start off with, which is good. So that should remove
it should move the junk.
But at the same time, if you just look at it from each individual person and their network reach, we all have enough. Just people in general have enough network reach from the people they've met through school, work. So they should be able to spread their content out amongst those people to start off with. So
it will make it.
It will make it better.
You will have to connect. I think what you've been able to do before is not have to connect as well to get to a certain level.
Yeah.
Fact is, you still need to start 1,000 views to get money. That's what's minimum. That's never going to change. Or all they've done now.
Yeah.
And that's per video. So you can get 10,000 views before and get a partnership. But if you weren't getting 1,000 views on the video, you're not making money off it.
So basically, you just need that one video that bangs and you can go.
Now you need consistent content.
Yeah.
Because what they do now is you'll get your 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of content, and they will go through your content.
Okay.
To see if you're actually worthy of the YouTube partner program. Like Timothy Delaghetto, he's on what's that show? Nick Cannon's show. Wilding Out. Yeah. He wasn't getting money off YouTube. He's got like a few million subs, and when he finally got it, what they told him was that his thumbnails were inappropriate, and he had to change a lot of titles on his videos.
So basically, he had to start all over again, basically.
No.
He had
He had to cleanse his channel,
re-edit everything and start all over,
he had to change all his thumbnails, change the titles, adjust the descriptions. But that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a lot of people you can't half-ass it anymore.
Yeah.
That's what you can't do on YouTube anymore. You could half-ass YouTube. I've seen a lot. Everyone's seen people who half-ass their content. Now, if you're not putting in the work, you're not actually meant to be a YouTuber. You ain't gonna make it.
Well, I think it's better that way, because then it'll show how dedicated you are to your craft. Because no point someone doing halfway job and then expect to be successful overnight, and it doesn't work like that. You have to put the effort in.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But my question to you guys is like, so if we take YouTube as part of the online media space,
Yeah.
how long do you think before TV and cinema? Because I feel like radio is almost gone, but TV, cinema, radio, before they get phased out altogether.
I think I'll leave radio separately because I think what podcast has shown me is that radio can have a resurgence if they find the essence of what makes podcasts so popular now and apply that theory to radio. Like even for example, when More Life came out on Beats One as an exclusive on OVO Sound Radio, everyone was following because Beats One is like everyone's hearing the same radio like tracks around the world. If you looked on Twitter on the timeline, everyone was following that album through track by track. You were getting a live experience of the music. So I think that model and that experience shows that radio has a future if it becomes very more social. And that's why I think hashtagging is key and Twitter's key. As to the other two, I think with TV it's going to come down to what happens with live events, live sport. I know that with the Twitter's had a few NFL and NBA games they've shown live.
Yeah.
The Premier League hasn't moved over to that subscription model, as in like you still have to get it through Sky and through BT. So for now, I feel like TV is relatively okay, but the subscription model that we see with apps, with services, it's going to eventually take over, and it will just become you have a big flat screen connected to the internet and you get your content that way, and there'll be the older generation that will still have the traditional way of doing things, but the rest of us will just sack it off and we'll be onto this new app-centric way of doing things.
What do you think? What do you think about cinema? Because that's the one where I'm a cinema fan. I love going to cinema, but I realise now they're a lot emptier than they used to be, and you've got some epic cinemas that are empty.
I think they're going to have to remodel. I think the reality is the cinema experience is great. The problem is the cost to entry is too high. So either
it's gone up,
which is reflective of the cost to make the movies, and they have to make this money back. So there needs to be a compromise somewhere. I think getting things like Cineworld cards are quite good. Maybe those could be a bit more affordable for more people. Maybe there needs to be, which they've tried with iTunes U, where it's like you can get movies that are in the cinema out earlier. Maybe
they do that on Cineworld cards, but the problem is that the viewing's so late or early. It's at such a random time. It's not worth going to watch. But
I think there needs to be some incentive to, you get. I don't know. There just needs to be again a rethink of how the cinema experience needs to go. I don't think it comes down to just technology. I think it just comes down to cost and economics, and also Hollywood need to invest in more original scripts. Because the reality is all these reboots, these remakes, reimagining of the same story. There's a whole bunch of talented people out there who have written books, who have written plays, who have written stories, who just need one chance. Like Get Out.
That was that
one chance, and
do you know
what a great experience.
The joke wasn't that like barely budgeted.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of money spent on that film.
It overperformed by every metric.
Yeah.
So I think that's an example where we need more original stories in the cinema. I'm tired of hearing another Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm tired of hearing another Jumanji. No, not knocking these movies, because obviously the guys that are in it are working their socks off and trying to tell a good story. But we've heard the story before. Planet of the Apes, we've seen it before. King Kong, we've seen it enough times now. Let's move on. We've got it's 2018. Let's have some new, let's have new experiences.
But the best movie out this year has to be Black Panther.
Haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
Still haven't seen it.
Very good movie.
Really haven't seen it.
That's fine. I think
probably the only one in this podcast hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Probably the only one listening to this podcast hasn't seen it.
Don't worry, when it comes out.
When it comes out, I would have seen it.
I mean, the thing is, I do agree with the cinema thing actually, because I remember when they used to be cheap, and like any industry, you have your boom, and it dips, and I think TV's about to have its dip, because you've seen some of the NBA figures for like the prices of the TV deals for NBA.
Yeah,
it's just
ridiculous,
stupid money. So it's gonna dip, because whenever you get to that level of hype, what comes after is a dip.
Yeah.
It's unsustainable. The Premier League's going to have that same dip, because it's just not sustainable. And in the area that we live in, TV at this level is unsustainable.
So for example, what do you think then? What do you think should be done then, like to save TV? Because you're saying TV's gonna die out, and you're saying radio and
I think
it's gonna die out. What do you think can be done to save it?
you've got to adapt the model of what you want for TV.
Yeah.
I think
I think a lot of people will watch TV anyway. Like a lot of not.
no.
young people.
I think in that's why I said I started with him preference within London
Yeah.
and like fast-paced cities around the world.
Yeah.
Because if you go outside London into a slower pace, you're gonna go home and watch TV, potentially.
Yeah. After you had a busy day at work, you come home and watch TV.
I mean, you're probably gonna watch TV, but within London and within faster paced cities where the income is generated,
Yeah.
so in most of the around the world,
Yeah.
TV is not being watched that often.
It's
It really
true.
isn't watched that much. It really isn't being watched that often.
Because people are working and when they're coming from work, they don't really want to watch TV. They want to.
No, you're getting home late. You're
and
streaming on
yeah.
your on the train. You
On the
can
train,
download
yeah.
Netflix onto your thing. You can listen to podcasts on your thing. You got
Got
iTunes.
BBC iPlayer, all these big,
so
all these
what am I watching
companies.
TV for?
Yeah. But I think the joy of what I think a lot of people like watching TV because the joy of it. Like for example, if they want to watch a football match, I know you can stream football matches and you can watch them online. But a lot of people want to watch it live on TV with their mates, have a drink or beer or whatever they drink to watch the game live with their mates, than watch it on the stream because it's more. They'll go to the pub or they'll watch it at home with their mates and it'll be more fun for them to do. To
I
watch.
hear that.
And I think on that, I think that all comes down to the social aspect.
Yeah.
So with sport, even now, like obviously Twitter's, I love Twitter as an example. So I think it's the right social network for all these live, on the pulse moments. I think Twitter does really well at doing that kind of stuff. So again, the pub is like the social space you have in the kind of physical realm or physical space, whereas Twitter and the online
It's
element
big
does
for
that.
that. So
When they can replicate that pub-like reaction online, and then when the Premier League decide, okay, we want to take the subscription model and actually cut it down. So rather than you pay a fee to watch whatever games we want, you can pay say $14.99 for the year, whatever. Only like let's say $4.99 a month. You can watch. You subscribe to your team and you watch their matches, all their matches.
do you know what
that
that
would change the
do you
whole
know, do you
game.
know what that would create? You couldn't get a middle of the road team that is getting primetime Sunday spots. Do
No,
know
you
what I mean?
still have it.
No, but you wouldn't as well because like you'd have like an NBA thing where they would have some primetime games, but now you have to aim to be number one. Do you see what I mean? Like NBA teams now, like Lakers, excluded because somehow they get primetime spots and they've been rubbish for the last 5 years. But like, you have to work to get to a certain level on primetime TV.
I mean, how it is now, it's like they obviously there's always the big games that get picked out, and they try and pick the interesting games between, I guess you could say, the smaller clubs. in the
Yeah,
league. So
yeah.
there's a good variance and a good balance. Some weeks they get it horribly wrong, like they'll put on a game and it's absolutely horrifically poor, and then there'll be a game that's on at 3:00 and it's just like a 3-3 thriller, and everyone's like, why did you not showcase this game? Looking at their form, you could have told, you could say, you would have known actually this would have been the game,
Yeah.
and they picked the wrong
But
one.
I think the thing is with the Premier League, I think every team in the league has to get equal amount of games shown on live TV for TV money.
No, that's what I respect about the Premier League over the other leagues because you do actually protect
Yeah.
the investments. Like if you get relegated, you're still getting looked after.
Parachute payments for 2-3 years, and
So
then
which
after
is what
that,
which is what I respect. But, and it's like, you've got teams that have half-assed in the Premier League. For example, Everton have half-assed it since 2005. I can tell you that for a fact.
what do you mean?
They were made top 4 2005. They haven't
Yeah.
made it close since.
Yeah, because the problem is all the big clubs are spending more money than the smaller clubs. They're spending X
No,
amount
that's
of money.
fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
But in that same span, and my argument to you is Leicester won the league.
And they spend less money than all the other big clubs.
So that's not an excuse.
I think, I mean, Leicester is the outlier in all these situations. But what Leicester did really well is they spent very smart.
They scouted very well.
They had a brilliant system, and then what they also did is they started something with Nigel Pearson. They got rid of him, at the right time for
Yeah,
what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Ranieri, when he came in, decided not to change too much, but allow the players to continue in the way they were playing before, which worked, but just add a few little details here and there until January, and then he started, until the following season when he started putting in his own style, and then obviously got fired. But yeah, so like, he was very key to keep continuity, and they have a style of football which the league were not used to. You had Jamie Vardy, who the league were not used to, a striker who would just run at you in that manner. It's not, I can't think of the last. It's like, he is like a less refined. Don't kill me on this. His playing style. No, his playing style was like a less refined Luis Suarez. All the intensity, but none of the technical ability. I mean, add that because his intensity was, his intensity was there, but obviously the technical, they're not the same. So like, that was refreshing, and that made a lot of teams, they just couldn't cope. And then across the board, they had Kante and Drinkwater, who formed a formidable partnership. Which, and then you had Mahrez, who just sparkled, and just like they just had a unit that worked. A back four that on paper would just
abysmal,
come on.
Yeah.
Premier League winners really,
Yeah.
But they've done it.
Well, that showed that season the rest of the teams were poor.
No, you can't say that, because to be champions, you have to still.
The rest of the team. Let's not misread.
The rest of the teams were poor.
The rest.
All of the top four were in transition. Every single team following that season had changed their manager, barring Arsenal. Every other team
Arsenal
in that season were, because I think it was Klopp's first.
Klopp came
in first season. Yeah.
Mourinho had just come. No, is he back yet?
He got sacked. He got sacked. That's the season he got sacked. He got fired.
Van Gaal was having
problems.
Whatever the wahala he was.
Pellegrini was having problems.
Pellegrini was about to get shafted in the back. It was like, to be honest, you look at that season, it was set for one of the big clubs. Even Tottenham, and you could even argue that on like Tottenham and Arsenal, one of them should have gone hard for the league. I know Tottenham had the battle of the bridge and it fell apart, whatever. But like, as it always does. But like,
we love you,
Spurs. It just wasn't. It was Leicester just took advantage of all the other big clubs being off the pace. Because even look at how it is now with this current season. Manchester City are on it. Man United on paper are having a really good season, but they're second and they're nowhere near Man City. In playing style, in points, they're nowhere near, but they're second. Liverpool are having one of their best seasons in a while, and they're not close to the title. We know about the other club with cock on the ball, but usual. So like, there's been a progression, but everyone, it's like the gaps jumped up again. The quality of the top four is what it should be, minus the two that are outside right now who are still trying to figure out life. That's Chelsea and Arsenal, for those who don't understand what it means. So like,
No, you make a fair point. But to bring it back to the topic of media, because we could discuss football all day. I want to get vexed if we do.
Let's not.
So my counter to the TV argument is, at one point, TV now is what cinema used to be. You used to go to the cinema to watch your news, to watch your big events. Now look at cinema. Cinema managed to transition its way to and extend its shelf life, so to speak. I think TV needs to figure out a way to, as you're saying, to figure out a way to do the same. Otherwise, it is over. Because they're saying the world's getting older in terms of generation in the first world countries.
Yeah.
But that same group getting older, we can't keep banking on that.
Yeah, for real.
Do you know what I mean? Eventually, all of us are going to get to the point where, and we're the ones who aren't watching TV as heavily as we used to.
Yeah.
We're going to be the elder statesmen.
It's true.
And our habits are going to be effectively what's regarded of as the norm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, in that aspect, TV needs to figure out a way to adapt.
And encourage people to watch it again.
Yeah, it just has to be, because we say the pub culture, we say pubs in that. Yeah. I think, and I'm going to be out there with this one, but I think the only way to save certain cultures is going to be like, when VR and augmented reality finally takes off, that'll be the way you save it.
Okay.
That and Twitter, and because you're going to be able to recreate that environment while people having to leave the house.
So to answer your question then, You see, you said something about TV's dying out here. What do you think the problem? What the root of the problem? Do you think it's the programs that are on TV that are not that interesting anymore, or is it because you're paying all this money?
Too many channels, and you've got services that give you what you want there and then.
You mean online?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I don't need 900 channels. I don't need it. You don't need 900 channels. You barely get to 30. That's true. Actually watch consistently.
Basically you have your choices. Like at home, I watch the sports channel, I watch BBC One, or I watch ITV, or.
But how often do you watch BBC One?
Only sometimes, not all the time. Only if the news is on, Match of the Day is on, I'll watch it.
Here's the thing, like.
Or if documentaries are on, I'll watch documentaries. I don't mind watching documentaries.
But that's because you've grown up to a point where you can accept documentaries.
Yeah.
Now, like, my thing is, when I had the 5 channels, you used to find the shows amazing.
Of course.
The first day I got Sky, I did not watch those 5 channels for like months.
Of
course, because you got the option of watching more channels.
The problem is you've now got too many options.
So you're privileged. You're privileged to have more channels, and then you feel to yourself, I want to watch this, that, and the other, but you're not sure because you're thinking, okay, I've got all these channels, and after a while I get bored. If I watch all these programs, I don't like them. What's the point? And before, when you had less channels, you felt more satisfied.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing with Netflix and I guess Amazon Prime to a lesser degree, I'm not an Amazon Prime guy myself. I've never been too interested in Amazon Prime or how it works and what it does. And I've never been too interested in that element. Just because I don't want to pay for it. I'm all like, I'm cheap, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
we're all living on a budget.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't be getting Prime and...
We're all living to survive.
In America, they have Hulu and stuff and...
And like, Stars Network.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
so many.
Ooh, Stars almost went though.
Huh? Is it?
I mean, Stars almost went in January. Wow. We'll discuss that later. But this is what I mean by like...
Yeah.
You got all these potential like options, yeah. But the actual content on them is limited.
Yeah.
Disney, when they release their streaming service, it is. I assume they're gonna have a heavy
catalogue of people subscribing.
No, you're gonna have a huge market share.
Yeah.
Because they're taking their movies back from Netflix.
Depends how they price it. Because you know Netflix has mindshare the same way Google has mindshare, the same way YouTube has mindshare. Like Twitch doesn't have mindshare amongst a wider population.
No.
It's starting to get there.
I respect for Twitch before we get back to that Disney and stuff. I respect their grind and consistency because there's a lot of sites like that have just fallen off.
But I think the key thing will be when it becomes like a verb. Like right now, you'd say, let's Google it, or
let's go on YouTube.
Let's Instagram Live. So like live streaming, there isn't a single thing to say let's live stream. You know, you've got Twitch, you've got Instagram Live, you've got Facebook Live, you've got what is the other one? Periscope, right?
Yeah.
But there's not a single verb for live streaming. There isn't one service that defines them all yet. Could you Periscope? It's not quite. Twitch could do it, but Twitch still feels like it's not for the mainstream. It still feels like that thing where it's like, to me it has
It's got its niche.
Yeah, it's too niche at the minute. Instagram Live, anyone can use it, but again, it feels still like if you're popular, do it. If you're not, don't waste anyone's time. Yeah. Facebook Live, why waste time? Like, why? What? Like, do we really?
I still don't know. I mean, I know why they created Facebook Live, but I get the point in the business scheme of things. I just think it's one of those things where I think the guys at Facebook just got carried away.
But Twitch could do that though. If Twitch can get, let's Twitch it.
You make a point. You do make a very, very big point. And I think you're right, Disney won't have mindshare. But I think the reason why I think they'll have high market share is a lot of their movies do.
Yeah, it's Disney.
I
mean, maybe I'm probably actually not. I'm downplaying the Disney brand.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is Netflix and chill. It's got that.
Yeah.
But it's Disney.
Now, you know what? That's when Netflix boosted actually. When that Netflix and chill, and they managed to create they created a few adverts with that. That's when Netflix popped because now you have that in your head. But when Disney get their service, even if we don't get it, the kids are gonna go get that stuff.
Yeah.
And you know when the kids go get something, that's what pops 10 years down the line.
Of course, everyone starts getting it.
Yeah, because the kids have it, which means the generation below,
Of course.
We're the first generation I can truly say that don't watch TV that often. I don't watch it as often as the ones before us do. Like
Yeah.
before it was quite TV, or it would have been cinema, then TV, and now it's going to be streaming.
When I grew up, I was going to the cinema. We all grew up going to cinema, watching movies. Yeah.
Thing is, like,
cinema. To be honest, cinema is fun to go and watch a movie. It's always good to watch good movies, and you get to see adverts of other movies that you want to watch, and you can tell your friend, oh yeah, there's a good movie coming out, let's go watch it.
But then have you realised how you can get a lot of these movies now on Sky and
online, yeah.
Online now.
It's a shame, really, but I still like physically going to the cinema and watching a movie then watching it. Like I don't mind watching Netflix at home, movies on Netflix sometimes as well, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same atmosphere. You go to the cinema, you just like chilled out.
It takes
yeah,
like
it takes
2
you
hours
away.
longer to watch a movie on Netflix.
Yeah, it does. You get bored and you start pausing and you get distracted. Your phone rings. And listen to the cinema, you can switch it off and.
And on that note, I think we'll wrap it there.
If you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to our podcast for more. You can find us on iTunes and SoundCloud. Just search 87 Pod.